Guys, I'll be the one to admit it, I am tired. I'm worn out of going outside to take all these photos just so I can make my own materials that, quite frankly, they're not seamless, they don't look good, especially when you compare it to all this professionally made PBR materials that some professionals are going out with their $1,000, $10,000 cameras to get. We don't have those kinds of resources, so it is imperative that somebody's to make this tutorial about getting free PBR materials online that we can import into Blender super easily. So let's get started. You are going to go to your favorite internet browser. For me, that is going to be Google Chrome. I know that might be a hot take, but you could use whatever you want. You are going to type in Texture Haven, and you can see I already typed it in. That's how big of a fan I am of Texture Haven. Not sponsored, just a very useful resource. So once you're on Texture Haven, you are going to go to textures. You're going to see all these materials. They're all going up to 8K. They're all PBR, and they come with a bunch of maps. You can pick whichever one you want, but for example purposes, let's pick this first one, Rock Ground 5. When you are here, you can download each map individually, or like we're going to do, we are going to download all the maps at once. To do this, you are going to click all maps, and you can pick what resolution and what file type you want. For us, it's going to be 2K JPEG, although maybe... Whoa, I'm sorry to interrupt my own tutorial. How dare I? Just a quick message before it gets out of hand. Yes, the beard, whatever this nonsense is going to be growing until 2021. No shaving until then. And since like 95% of the viewers who watch these tutorials are dudes, at least that's what my analytics say, some of you are willing to come alongside with me. Post results on the Discord. Beard until 2021. Should probably get back to the tutorial. You want high resolution, and maybe you want PNG, and then just take this and save it onto the desktop. Once you've done this, you are going to have a zip folder, the zip folder right here that we are to unzip. So take all these textures, your AO, your displacement, your normal, take them and then put them on the desktop or whatever folder you want. But now the question becomes, how are we to import these textures into Blender using the fastest, most efficient method possible? And I'm going to show you exactly that. So without knowing the secret strategy, what you're probably going to do is just set up a basic material with the principled BSDF, which makes sense since you want to do PBR, and then what you are likely to do is you are to import a image texture, connect it to base color, and then you're going to import that one in, and then you're going to do this for roughness, for normal, for basically every single map, and it's very time consuming. We do not want to waste our time with this. So what you are going to do is go to Edit, Preferences, Add-ons, and you want to make sure that Node Wrangler, which is right here, is enabled. If you do not see this, type in Node Wrangler, and then it's going to appear. That's how it works. Enable Node Wrangler, and what it's going to let you do is select the principled BSDF, hit Shift Control T. What are we to do here? Well, this is probably going to blow your mind. What you're going to do is you are going to find all your textures. For me, those are down here. Just select all of them, all the relevant textures, and then click Principled Texture Setup, which not only imports into textures, which is already impressive, but it already sets up everything we need, including mapping coordinates, the normal map conversion, displacement, all of this. And yes, this is a one shortcut solution for importing in all your PBR maps without needing to know how to combine them and do all this nonsense. So already we have all these textures imported, but you are going to notice that the displacement, for example, isn't working even though we are using cycles. To fix this, you are going to go to the material properties, go to the displacement type and change it from bump only to either displacement only, or what I would recommend is displacement and bump, which you are going to notice actually gives us true geometry based displacement, which means the silhouette is no longer a sphere. But of course we could always use more geometry for this, and you can either throw on a subdivision surface modifier to fix this, or something even better is go to the render tab. I'm showing you all the secrets today. Change the feature set to experimental, which is very important because now when we add a subdivision surface, you are going to see this option for adaptive subdivision. If you are not to have experimental but have supported, you're going to see that this feature is missing, so don't complain to me in the comments. You already know what to do. You change it to experimental. And technically you already know everything you need to know about importing in PBR textures from the free website Texture Haven, but if you want a bit more control, some stuff about this node network, assuming that you don't know how it works. If you want to control the strength or the height of the displacement, what you can do is go over to this displacement node and then just change the scale, where a smaller number like 0.25 is going to have less displacement than something crazy like 2, which is going to have a bunch of displacement. One other thing is that since these textures are seamless inherently, because that's what we downloaded, they were a bunch of seamless PBR textures, is if you go to the mapping node and look at the scale, what you can do is actually hook up up a value node and connect this to all three. In other words, this is a vector that has three components, but we can use just a single value to say we want the same thing for X, Y, and Z. You can take this and then just change the amount of tiling that you want in your material. So making materials by yourself, this whole PBR nonsense, that's a thing of the past. I want you to take that memory and just throw it out. Forget it. It never existed. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, because if you didn't enjoy it, what a waste of time that would have been.